Well, in honor of Pride Month, we're celebrating the generation of LGBTQ trailblazers.
LGBTQ.
LGBTQ.
Isn't there a G in there?
I know you want to put the whole alphabet, but no, it's just no, it's just LGBTQ.
What the hell? I thought there was a G in there.
What would the G? We're not going there.
No. I mean, I thought it was LGBTQ.
Anyway.
No, isn't it LGBTQ?
LG.
Right. Okay. There's a G.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought I was saying it. LGBTQ.
You didn't say G.
Yes, I wasn't saying this LBTQ. I was
Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
Damn, I can't even pronounce it right. Okay, sorry about that. LGBTQ.
Okay.
So, Sports Illustrated decided to honor, or to rather to put on Kim Petras. Now, Kim Petras is a trans woman, as they say, but we all know, well, we should know that there's only two genders, man and female, and Kim was born as a man. So anyway,
see if we can cue up some pictures of what was his name always Kim Petras?
You know what?
You don't know?
I don't know. I saw some pictures of him, but I didn't really find anything on, because he started this journey when he was very young, I guess.
So kind of like that. What's that other kid's name?
Jazz.
Yeah, that's the one, Jazz Jennings.
Yeah, it could be. Jazz also started very young, but I wonder if Kim has any stories, because I've heard a lot of people that go through that, the pain and the suffering that they do go through. Some of them figure there he goes. Some of them think that the pain that they go through, it's worth it. But then again, you don't know in the long run, because I feel that these are just experiments that they're doing with these children.
I have to agree. It's kind of like a social experiment.
Yeah.
This is something that I think that they want people to believe. So in the gay community, gay has been a thing for like a long time, and I mean thousands, like hundreds, thousands, a long time.
It's always been there.
Tranny, that's a new thing. And I think that people aren't really too familiar with the story of Dr. Money and how that whole thing came about. But that is not like a concept as old as time. That is not something where in the old ancient books they're talking about people becoming like a different gender. It's a weird ideology that people seem to subscribe to nowadays. It seems like everything is a choice. It's almost like a social freedom. I want to choose to be something else.
Yeah, well, yeah, you have, and this is a craze that's going on. I don't know what's wrong with people. I mean, they feel like a tree, so they're a tree. I mean,
yeah, like that old adage, right? Yeah, you feel like
if you're a tree, then you don't eat.
But you get water.
If you're lucky.
I know that there have been doctors talking about that. Essentially, it's more of a safe space that people feel like, well, if I identify as a trans individual, then essentially I'm safe from people's ridicule. I don't agree that people should be bullied. You know what I mean? Because some people are like,
nobody should be bullied.
Yeah, not that they should be, but I do agree that you have to toughen up people. You know what I mean? In Philly we talk shit. Like I always say, if I fucks with you, I fuck with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how we are. We always talk shit. And it's not because we don't like you, it's because we do like you. Yeah. And because of that, you kind of toughen up your skin a little bit. You're not so, you're more sensitive.
Yeah. And you feel more accepted too, because even if you're a fuck up, at least they like you.
I didn't say it was a fuck up.
Whatever. But anyway, yeah, they should see a psychiatrist, I believe, because there's a lot of mental issue going on out there, and psychiatrists must be making good money. I knew I should have become a psychiatrist.
Just tell me about it. It's that easy to sit on a chair and ask people how they're feeling. I do half of that right now.
I know, right?
Yeah, just be like, so every statement they make, you just follow up with a question. And how does that make you feel?
That's so easy. They get paid good money for that.
They look at my little book. I'm just scribbling doodles.
Well, because I did seek, help at one time. It's nothing to be ashamed of if you need help. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, I don't think my issues were that deep, so I felt like, hey, you know, I don't want to waste your time.
But I mean, your issues weren't that deep. It's not like you were experiencing some kind of mental break where you felt like, hey, I'm in the wrong body.
Body. What is that? Body
Dysmorphia.
Dysmorphia.
Yeah.
I didn't suffer from that. I knew I needed to lose weight. I knew that.
I mean, I gotta admit, I had a bout with that, you know, because back when I was with my ex a long time ago, I had lost a lot of weight, and I mean a lot of weight, where basically I was fitting into like a guest small. If anybody knows, a guest small in an adult size, I mean.
Wasn't that extra small?
He was extra small, yeah. Shit, even smaller. Fuck. Yeah, pretty much. Like I was about 2 weeks away from shopping at Baby Gap. You know, that's how small I was, and I still couldn't see myself as thin, man. I just couldn't see it.
Yeah.
I just didn't see it. So that it is a thing. I see how people just can't really associate. They can't associate reality with their perception of reality. It's like those two concepts have to coincide. They have to be. They have to be at some form of equilibrium in order for you to say, yeah, I wouldn't say normal, because what is normal, right?
Exactly.
What is normal? No, I mean, honestly, it's just as long as you're not hurting yourself or going crazy or anything, to that extent. I mean, normal is just living your life.
But these people hurting themselves, that is what they're doing when they go under the knife for these operations.
Body mutilation, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, they go through so much.
It's some people, it seems like they kind of have an affinity for doing that, though, because if you remember like a few years ago, like let's say like in the 90s, right, when that whole counterculture was in full swing, people were also like mutilating themselves with piercings, overly tattooing, and I'm not comparing the two like as a direct correlation. I understand it's apples and oranges,
right,
but it's still like the same thing of like, obviously you're dissatisfied with the way your body looks to the point where you're changing it so drastically. What about that one woman that literally got surgery to look like a cat? You remember her?
Yeah, and there's that other guy that looks like a reptile. Remember him?
No, he was born like that.
No, he wasn't.
No, it's people. People just aren't happy in their own skin, and I think that's kind of like what the problem is, right? You can't really identify happiness with who you are. So I think it's not so much about having these issues. It's not about them being non-existent. It's almost the thing about courage, right? Courage is not the absence of fear. It's basically like performing a brave act in the face of fear. Like, in order for you to be brave, you have to be afraid. You have to.
Yes.
If you're not afraid, you're not brave.
You're not brave.
Exactly.
Go through that. Yep.
So yeah, I think it is something in that respect. I know that Petras is like a German porn star. Jesus,
no,
a pop star,
even
right?
though I'm gonna be honest with you, he looks very nice. He really does. I mean that's why they put him on Sports Illustrated, but.
Illustrated.
Illustrated. Sorry, my dyslexia kicked in. But yeah, but of course, still, here we go again. A man taking a woman's place. I mean, shouldn't that be for women that are born as being women? Not, I feel like if they want to have their platform, then, why not have your own magazine and then, feature yourselves on it,
What I can't really understand is from a business standpoint, right? Just purely from a money-making perspective. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I got to change this. That is just not my cup of tea at all. I'll just put it back on the pictures. At least they don't offend me, so
Okay.
No. Basically, from a business standpoint, just purely trying to make profit, right? Mm-hmm. Bud Light gave it the old college try, and it failed. Man. It failed miserably, right? So it proves that there's in that particular realm, when it comes to this social issue, too big to fail doesn't apply.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying that Bud Light did falter, but I love how they didn't even apologize, and they just all of a sudden, hey, we're country music.
Yeah.
That should have been your approach. I said that should have been the approach. Remember, I told you instead of Mulvaney,
exactly. And
they should have put on the chick from Heart Like a Truck, from Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Do like a series of
What is her name?
I said the chick. They should have put her on, right? Because I feel like the country music that would have been like your bread and butter, but instead you chose to cater to a minuscule demographic, and that's the part that I don't understand, right? How or why you come to the conclusion that alienating the majority of your consumer base in order to cater to a minuscule part of a demographic, I mean, I'm talking like a fraction of a fraction. Because if you think about, gays as opposed to straights, they're already a minority. Now, trannies within the gay community are a minority of a minority. There are not a lot of transsexuals in the gay community. In fact, I know that there's kind of there's almost like a separation between the two, where gays are like, trannies a whole different thing.
Right.
Like that. It's even gays are saying that trannies are confused. That just shows you how off the rocker they are.
Yes.
Like how left field that particular ideology is.
Right.
So I don't understand how a corporation whose sole purpose is to gain profit from selling a product or service would decide that catering to a demographic that's so minuscule and alienates the rest of your consumer base is smart. Well, you got Bud Light, you got Nike doing it, right?
Yes.
You got Adidas, I heard, had done it.
Maybelline also did it, didn't it? Maybelline. I was reading that Maybelline did it also.
And these companies are essentially just alienating.
Yeah. I mean, who buys your product? Mostly women. Women buy your product. So, why are you going to cater to the trans people when it's I just don't get it. And by the way, the girl's name is Lainey Wilson.
That's her. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
She's got a beautiful voice.
And I think that the approach honestly should have been up and coming young country stars.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it just would have been so much. Instead, you got absolutely crucified by the country music community. I mean, the video with him like opening fire on the can.
Oh yeah.
Classic, right? Classic.
Was he the same one, or was it another one that decided to take out the Bud? He didn't drink the Bud beer, but he took it out of his, like, he would have almost like a party for those people that he worked with and everything, and he would have beer and food and everything, and he removed the Bud Light from his.
I don't know if he did that. I know that they were suffering in sales, like even at ball games, because nobody wants to get in line to buy that beer.
Yeah,
it's almost become like a stigma.
Yeah.
If you're seen with a Bud Light, then all your boys are going to talk shit. You know what I mean? And nobody wants that. Look, it may sound
a real
like
man doesn't want that.
It may sound immature and petty, but we don't want that shit.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be like fucking ridiculed trying to enjoy a cold one. So that's not a smart move.
Yeah.
And they double down. These companies are doubling down. Like Sports Illustrated doesn't really make sense.
Well, we'll see what'll happen there. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, I just want to see the. I want to see the one they show the Martha Stewart was on it.
You want to see Martha?
Man, she looked fucking good, yo. She's like 80
that
something.
That was what, like 75? No, that was like 25 years ago. Or they just did it.
No, isn't that recent? I think that's like recent.
Know.
I think that's like recent. Man, for an old head, goddamn. That's that prison body right there. Holy shit. Well, that's what we think. Why don't you tell us what you think? Drop a comment down below. Like and subscribe, or don't. What the fuck I look like? Jesus Christ, I don't fucking run your life. Do whatever you want.
Okay.